Let's just connect. Make sure we're all ready to go. The internet's not instant. You gotta let it load a little bit. Gotta make sure it's caught up. Awesome. We are now live.
Sweet.
Thank you everybody for joining our stream. I'm Eric Ippolito, community manager. Together with Ryan, he is our lead UX designer. Some of you might have seen him sneaking around the subreddit, answering a few UX related questions. So I mean, this stream is really exciting. I'm excited. This is a brand new feature that we're going to show off, Faction HQ. It's been, a few months in the works.
Yeah.
Ryan has spent a lot of time working on this feature, making sure that everything looks really cool, showing us how it works, that sort of thing. So I guess we could start off and talk a little bit about yourself. Walk us through kind of your day-to-day, what things that you're focused on WWE Champions, how long you've been on the project, that sort of thing.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Ryan. Again, I'm the lead UX designer. I've been on the project for 2.5 years now. So one of the older members of the team, seen it go through a lot of different versions, gone through launch until now. So this is one of our biggest features, the biggest revamp to an existing feature as well. So it's taking the faction system and really expanding it. So my day-to-day, it really varies depending on what we're working on. Right now, it's been a lot of focus on the next 2 or 3 releases, have a lot of big features coming online. But primarily, I work with a number of teams that are trying to actually execute on the development of these features. So I'll design the UX, which is primarily the look, flow, and feel. We'll test those.
I got that wrong on Reddit.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's so confusing.
There's a lot of terms, but the user experience is what UX stands for, by the way, if people aren't familiar with what that is. But the team here will design the feature. We'll do some research on it. We'll take it to our research team, bring players in, look at how we can try to improve it. As we go through development, we'll keep testing it and keep it in front of people as much as possible. And then I pretty much just stay on top of it as we go through development to ensure the animations are working correctly, that it is functioning the way we expect. And then I work with the game design team heavily and the product team to make sure that they're getting their needs in here and that hopefully our players are going to get a feature that they'll enjoy to use.
Yeah. I mean, and this isn't like, features, don't just come out just instantly. I mean, we've done like 3 play tests here in the office alone, and then each time, we've found some other, maybe some issues here and there, bugs or blockers, that sort of thing, or feedback that you've taken very graciously and made some tweaks just to make sure that everything is as best as it can be when we go live. So I've got, I'm player number 2 here, just in case I'm needed. But why don't you walk us through the feature? Give us a look.
So Faction itself is being updated to the Faction HQ. So we're providing players with a new, basically tower, and it has a number of floors. We've got a superstar on each floor, and they all have new functionality. Some of the existing functionality has been rolled into one of these floors or into a separate section.
This is pretty cool in my opinion. I mean, look at this. You've got look,
pretty
Daniel
excited.
Bryan
We got
up
Daniel
there.
Bryan, we got Kurt, we got Mick, and we got Roman down here in the arena. So each one of these floors has a new system. We've got
purpose.
And hopefully some fun collaborative functionality. So I'm going to start at the top. This is just our existing faction details. We've added some new things here, like the amount of helps your faction has contributed, the helps each individual player has contributed. So this screen should look pretty similar to anyone that's played the game. A big change, though, is you've added a lockbox. Now, the lockbox is something that you, as a faction, are going to collaborate towards earning and completing. So throughout a period of time, and that's going to be variable, we're going to be able to run these for shorter or long periods of time. You're going to be able to earn points through running expeditions, which is one of the new systems, or winning battles, and you'll contribute points once the event ends, once the system, once the lockbox duration's over. Whatever tier of rewards you've earned, you will get to open as a faction. There's no cost opening or anything. This is just earned as a collaborative system.
You just get this sort of item.
Yep, you get these. This is placeholder kind of rewards right now. We're still coming up with the final things, but as you move up in tiers. So that's what I'm kind of moving through here. You can get obviously better rewards. So the more you contribute, the more your faction is active and is part of this, the better things you'll get. And these will be all kind of ongoing. They'll cycle through. The rewards will be probably balanced and updated, and hopefully be really kind of helpful and compelling things towards the progression of your superstars is what I'm imagining. But we'll see what the final balance is.
Cool.
Another big change is level is gone as a concept. We're not taking away anything with that though. All the unlocks that came from leveling up to 20 are still there. So you've got your max level member list is 100. You've got 5 co-leaders, that type of stuff. But what we have done is tried to actually add maybe a little bit more value to leveling up. So as you move through the different tiers now, which is what the system is going to be called, you're going to get swag store stock. And swag is another system we'll get to in a second. So this stuff will populate in your store. You can use a new currency that you're going to earn from expeditions to unlock things. And you'll be able to basically get a little bit of a kickback for contributing to your faction, leveling up, and being there when you guys hit a new tier. And
and that'll be easy to see. Easy to see once we get to that part. But more on this. So just to iterate. So we felt like it'd be a little confusing to have both levels and tiers. And then so any of the factions who are already level 100 and they've spent a lot of that time gaining the XP, really leveling up the system. They'll get, I believe after this feature comes out, we'll give like some special flag or something to indicate that they were able to get that before this feature comes out. So to give you that kind of, like proud sort of thing. But everybody's going to start off as if they were level 100 right now, and then you'll work on increasing your tier. That way it's a little cleaner, it's not super confusing, and we also kind of felt that we didn't feel like you shouldn't have to be a level or level 20, not level 100. Level 20 to get some of the perks, like getting 100 members. We just feel like you should be able to get that sooner.
It was never a great experience in my mind that if you wanted to create a new faction with some friends, you had to limit yourself to 5 members. So all that's gone. If you want to create a new faction, you're completely open with the members. You've got to get some new rewards, and so tiering up will have more value than leveling ever really did.
Right.
So and there's 80, I believe is the number we're working with right now, 80 tiers. So there should be a good amount of progression in here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to jump into the floors now.
Let's do it.
Head office is the first one. Daniel Bryan's up there. He has different states you can kind of see him in. Right now there's something new in there, and in this case it's a new lockbox that just came live. So as a faction, if I come in here and I see Daniel Bryan yelling at me, it's probably because we've got something to collect maybe from our lockbox, or something new has come online.
Now for this one, we see the faction icon there. What do we have to do to contribute toward this particular lockbox?
So in this lockbox, it's going to be expeditions. So earn points by completing expeditions. You can tap in here to look at the rules, and the rules are, in this case, they're completing the various types of expeditions, but they could be, again, like win a star in any mode. And that could be another version of point earning. So each one has a different value of these faction points you can earn.
Now, I noticed some of them said like a legendary expedition or something. I guess that's a good segue into this one, so we can talk about the different levels of expeditions and how you can acquire those.
So the Expedition Center is probably the biggest, most exciting part of this feature, and at least for me. Something that's really been missing from the faction system for me was stuff to do together that wasn't competitive. We have Faction Feud, it's great, but it takes a lot of effort and a lot of time on your weekends, and we wanted something that was more persistent, that allowed you to earn rewards that didn't require you to go in and sit down for 4 or 5 hours. So this is really where that comes in. Expeditions are collaborative events that go on persistently. So in his case, we've got an expedition that's about to start. Some of my faction mates have joined it, so I can see down here.
That's me.
That Eric and I have joined this expedition. It's going to start in 1 hour and 2 minutes. And once it starts, it'll return after a certain duration. You can speed this up with rush tokens that are a new currency. You're going to earn those through doing expeditions.
So this one's kind of like a prep time, kind of like we see in Faction Feud. So you get ready,
giving more people a chance to hop in with you. We don't want it just to launch and then you were asleep and you missed it. So there's going to be these windows for you to do it. But even if you miss it, the next one starts right after. There's no wait. So as long as you are participating, you're going to get a chance to join these with your faction.
Cool.
Um,
What walks through these rewards? So what are these two things we see? Like
sure, let me
some
hop into.
coins and some boxes.
Actually, let's go back. I was gonna hop into how I forgot I put guys in. So yeah, we've got the faction coins, new currency. This is pretty simple. You're gonna earn this every time you do an expedition. You're gonna earn.
Someone spent a lot of effort on this screen. Look at this.
So coins are just you're gonna use these to buy the swag from the store. The more you contribute to an expedition, the more coins you're gonna get. That's pretty basic. As we're talking about, there's new tier unlocks. So you're gonna unlock the next tier as you hit tier 21 as a faction. You're gonna get tier 4. These numbers again are not probably final, but we're pretty close.
Basic outline.
Yeah,
pretty much like
95%
there.
Yeah. And so the other part is you're gonna get swag stock. So you're gonna get stuff that goes into your personal store. This store is stuff that you've earned by doing expeditions with your faction, but you can then use your coins to buy.
Got it.
So they have a set duration. They aren't persistent. Once you get them, you've got a day or two to unlock them. But you will get the coins by just participating in the expedition. So
that's nice. Basically, how it'll work is you earn these coins, and certain stock goes in there, and you might not want this particular bag, but then you can save up your coins, and then when something gets in there, then you can really jump on it and get all of the specific type.
And it's going to be pretty simple. You go in and you can basically just put in. I'm going to take out my guys here, but so right here I've earned nothing yet. But if I put one guy in, I'm going to earn the basic
tier up.
So in this case, because this
oh no. You broke it.
Oh no! I should have taken him out. Let me just cycle that back. So
see, this is why
the development builds are like that. But essentially,
hold on.
5 fingers not working.
5 fingers is working. I'm gonna have to restart. Okay.
Sorry, guys. I can kind of talk to it. So you would earn the coins from the base there, or you would earn and you would earn the swag stock. And the swag stock's going to go into your store, and the coins can go. The more guys you put in, generally you're going to get more rewards. So you want to have a big roster. You want to have a lot of guys that you can drop in here. However, you will not be locked out of using your guys in other modes. So you don't need to worry like in Faction Feud, where you've got to kind of make a decision here if you're going to use your guys. Drop them in there. Go to sleep, drop them in there, play another mode. They don't need to be at full health. They don't need to be locked out of anything. So
cool.
Pretty simple.
All right, let's get back in here.
Yeah.
Kind of showing off the
work in progress
QA testing tool. Here we go.
Because we use a little bit of our debug. We get into some states we shouldn't be in, unfortunately. So
we were using some cheat codes before the stream started. So that
it makes me worried about this reward now because I cheated my way to get to it. But we'll try it anyway. Once your faction has done one, you're going to be able to claim your rewards. So this will give you faction XP,
faction coins, hot dog,
and then you'll get some swag.
Nice.
So this will then go into your swag store, and that is
look at that. We'll look at. Very nice animation.
So mixed down here, we have a view. I've got a ton of stuff in my store right now because I seated it up there, for the presentation. But essentially, this stuff is what comes from the expeditions. We're working still on the balance of all this, so don't take the numbers here as final, but you'll get enough currency every time you do something to buy some of your stock for sure. So I'm just going to use the hard currency, but as you buy stuff, you'll basically open it right away, and you'll get something out of it. In this case, it was pretty simple. That was a basic mission, or basic expedition. So nice. That's kind of the overall kind of flow of how that system's going to work. But again, there's going to be rarities in here, so a rarer mission, it's going to take a little bit longer to do. We'll have a lot better rewards out of it.
Yeah. Awesome.
And finally, we're going to take where the Faction Feud was, and we're going to basically just roll that into the arena. This is a V1 of this. We really want to expand on this and add more functionality, but we didn't want to spend too much time. We've been doing a lot of work on Feud, as everyone hopefully has seen. It's getting a lot better, but we want to spend time making this floor a little more interesting in the future. But we've got this access to our Feud. Feud system is going to remain the same, but we've got a way to get a high-level view. You can now, one of the things that was kind of frustrating, if you're in a brawl, you couldn't see your place easily on the leaderboard. You're going to be able to go here and see it in the arena now.
Boom.
You won't need to go and dig through if you're in the top 100 and look, or just hope you remembered. So
Very cool.
finally, the chat system. I know we've been trying to figure out a way to kind of separate chat from the core functions, because the chat can get a little slow, and we're trying to make sure that you still have access to it, but we've kind of buried it one level deep. So you can tap into chat. This is still where your heal requests are going to be. I don't have any injured superstars right now, but
that good.
Yeah, but you would have them in here. And you've also broken out some of the messages into a log now. So this is going to give you messages per floor. You should also see some of the milestone messages, the messages that come up from normal progression, like leveling up and things like that in here. So I know I've seen a lot of feedback about the kind of the cluttered faction chat. We still have heal requests in the chat for now. So I think that's an area that I still want to evaluate. We want to kind of come up with a better way of doing heal. Wasn't part of scope for this, unfortunately, but we'll get to that. I think we'll get some improvements in there in the future.
Yeah. Awesome.
So that's the overall of the feature. There's going to be, some stuff that I hope players will discover as they kind of get in here and dig in and start playing around with it. There's going to be some visual growth as you go that I think is going to be pretty cool. The floors are going to change. They're going to actually have some new animations and some new things to them. So there should be some exciting stuff to discover as a player as you hop in here with your faction.
That's cool. This is awesome. I mean, this is definitely, working. Still a little bit of a work in progress, but for the most part, it'll be finishing up. We're just polishing it right now. And this will be coming out in the update 23, which will be later this month, here in a week or so.
Yep.
So we'll be posting on social. We'll be, following up with this live stream with a little bit more information. I mean, if you have any more questions, you can definitely post them on Twitter and Facebook, and the subreddit as well. And we'll try and follow up.
Yep.
So, yeah, thank you. Just quick, other than that, we have, so this will be in R23, and then after that, other than that, I should say, is Faction Feud starts tomorrow, which I'm pretty excited about. But other than that, thank you for joining us on the stream.
Yeah, my pleasure. Hopefully we'll be able to do more of these a little more in depth in the future. We've got, a slate of releases that I think are super exciting coming down for the next 6 months, year or so. So hopefully we can talk a little more about it. I'll be on Reddit, hopefully more in the next couple of weeks. So if you guys have any questions for me, I think my name is Ryan at Scopely on there. So I will try to post a little bit more. Sorry, I've been a little bit absent from there. If I didn't answer one of your questions before, I will get back to it as soon as I can.
Yeah, and I mean, and like I said the other day too, if I'm not as present on social, it's because we're doing something, really big like this or whatever. So awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.